There we go. I love this cup so much. That just seeing it made me so happy. Hello. Sorry I'm so late. I still have to work out the Monday schedule, but I'm glad that I'm here anyway. And even if I'm late on Mondays, I'm still gonna come live. It's just every once in a while it's a little hectic in my house with all the pets we have, you know? All the pets and then the child, you know? Did you see it? It's great. I love this cup. It's so obnoxious. Some of my pets are trying to get in. I love it dearly. I think it's so cute. I saw it at the store and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I need that. I am I'm a massive Twilight fan. So gross. So gross. Hello, hello. Wintry Michigan. How is it there? Is it freezing? I bet it's beautiful. It's very, very wintry here as well. Oh my goodness, it's a winter wonderland. My friend Alyssa and I were talking about how it feels like Christmas all over again. Like it feels like we should have like a second go because it feels more Christmassy now than it did during the actual holiday season. It's so nice. Oh, really? Oh yeah, I bet there's a lot of snow. It's beautiful, but it's also like so wild to have to dig yourself out of snow and like dig cars out of snow. It's the worst. So I usually want to do meditation on Mondays, but because it wasn't very quiet in my house a few minutes ago, I thought maybe we would do something else. Do a Q&A, but now it's quiet in my house again. All of a sudden it's gotten a little quiet again. Um, so it's up to you. I could also just answer any questions with a very gentle voice, you know. But while we're here live, before any questions pop up, I can tell you guys about see, my dog is barking. That's why I was like, oh, well, meditation's not going to work out, you know, because my dog is barking. But I wanted to tell you guys about the video that I have coming out on Friday. It's really an exciting kind of video. It's like an experiment. Kaiju, can you hush? I know you're just barking because I'm talking. Can you shush, please? Thank you. Um, Missouri. Oh, Mickey, hi. I want to come and visit you so badly. I want to do a collab series with you so badly. It is my dream. It is my dream. I'm also going to be balling yarn while we're here talking together, everyone. Hello. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be winding yarn into balls as we're chatting. So yeah, on Friday I have a video coming out that talks about my biggest spell ever. This is going to be my biggest spell I've ever done in 2024. I'm going to be doing a year-long ritual. Hello. Hello. Yes. Oh, you're also from Missouri. Yay! Yeah, I'm going to be doing a year-long working that is going to involve just me completely changing my life. I think a spell of that of that caliber is going to take a long time, you know what I mean? And I've definitely started on this ritual already. I've been doing a huge amount of cleansing in my life in many different ways in order to prepare myself for this ritual. But I really, I'm really very passionate about these kinds of experiments, you know, about finding out how things work and really documenting a really long type of ritual. So I'm excited to do it. It's gonna be so fun. So what it's mostly going to entail is therapy, number one. But I'm also going to be doing a lot of rituals involving um, a reinitiation and rededication to um, myself and to my path, and as well as I'm having a new wand made, and I'm having that um, completely documented. I haven't even visited the tree yet, but I'll be visiting the property where the tree is, and then the wood carver and I will be doing a ritual together before he chooses a piece for my wand. So it's so exciting. He's such a sweet guy. You guys are going to love it. He's such a wonderful, kind gentleman. Absolutely wonderful. And his partner is also a really incredible jeweler. Makes really beautiful. Oh my goodness. I have to show you. I have to take you guys to their house when I go. But he makes this really beautiful fairy jewelry that is just stunning, out of this world, gorgeous. Look at my boo boos. I feel like after I put the band-aids on, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like Michael Jackson with my band-aids. But I'm super excited for that. And I really just want to sort of allow myself to to buy in to the power of positive thought as a huge experiment, and not like toxic positivity in a way where you're just like, you know, deluding yourself and not actually taking care of anything responsible. I want to do everything in the most um, ferocious way possible. So anything that people suggest to me that they believe will help to make my life better, anything that will structurally help to make my life better, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do a ritual surrounding it. Thank you. Oh, thank you. This one's from Goddess Provisions box. And then the rest are like, you know, birthday presents from me to me. I buy myself a new silver ring every year for my birthday. And then, like, I usually give one away from last year or from like a couple of years ago. But I'm going to basically, like, do all of the things that people tell you to do in order to be successful in a very ritualistic sort of way. So I'm really excited to do it. I'm really excited to do it because I'm going to. This is the kind of working that's really, really difficult. This is the kind of like advanced magic that people don't really talk about very often because it takes a year to do it. It takes a full year to do it, and if you don't stick to this ritual, if you don't stick to this practice for the full year, it's not going to work. It just will not work. So there's a lot of pressure. I just like stressed myself out a little bit. But you have to follow the formula for a full year in order for this to actually, you know, become solidified in your life. So I really want to do it because I really want to show people that it can be done. And I love living by example. You know, I love it. I always tell people, you know, go to therapy, you know, talk about your feelings, get it all out, you know, express yourself. And I say all those things because I also do it. You know, I don't ever ask anyone to do anything that I'm not also willing to do myself. So I think it's really important to document these kinds of long rituals so that people can see how difficult it is to really solidify a huge magic spell and following these instructions for an entire year. And we've done people do kinds of workings like this all the time and don't realize that they're doing magic, like when you're ooh, one of my favorite kinds of magic. One of my favorite kinds of magic is revenge magic. And people don't always, they're doing it. But revenge magic is one of my favorites. So, say you break up with someone, and you want to prove to them, prove to yourself that you're better off without them. That is one of my favorite kinds of magic. One of those beautiful kinds of spells that people don't realize that they're doing. So you're like, oh, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to become a better version of myself. And then you put all of that energy, all of your feelings from the breakup, all of that energy goes into that spell. So you get your hair done, you start working out, you decide to like learn Spanish, and you do all of those things with the drive and determination from that energy from the breakup, and that's a beautiful spell. And if you follow through with it all the way, if your revenge magic is that strong, you follow through all the way to the end. It's amazing to see those results. But the thing that makes it work, and think that the thing that makes that kind of a working last, is you doing it for yourself and not for the other person. Because when you do things for other people, the energy lasts for a little while, but it won't last forever because it's not fully yours. It's not fully yours, but it's super cool. Yeah. Yep. I always think about how, there are two schools of thought. There are the people that are like, oh my gosh, be tough and be strong and be this and that, get back up. If you fall off the horse, get back on. And then there's the other school of thought of, be soft, be gentle, be slow and steady, and allow yourself to grow at your own pace. I'm always in the middle of those two. I'm always like, okay, both of those are beautiful, wonderful. Oh my God, great. But balance is always going to be key with me. Always, always, always. So if you have been fighting your whole life, and you have a moment where you want to reassess and be reborn, and you kind of do a complete 180, you're not balancing out the things that you need. You're kind of flinging yourself in the other direction, and the things in your life aren't going to fit in that direct. They're not going to fit the new thing that you're doing, and so you're going to be kind of scatterbrained for a while. It's really nice to be able to balance those things, and sort of let yourself find your own groove. Like when you stop taking medication, or when you want to change medication, you don't like just stop taking it cold turkey. Usually you have to like wean yourself off of it, because if you stop cold turkey, your body is like, what is going on? I need that thing that I've been having all the time. And then you go through withdrawal and you're like vomiting or whatever, whatever. You really have to slowly integrate things into your life, and really solidify that balance. Ooh, because balance is going to do so much for you. It is. It's all magic, my friend. It's all magic. Everything, I want people to understand, every single thing that we do and say is magic. Every single thing. Every single thing you do and say. Oh my goodness. Because your intention is what makes it have that little floaty spark. You know what I mean? You can say things all day and not mean them, but when you say something with feeling, when you say something with a little bit of emotion behind it, it gets that little shimmer in the air, and that's when it becomes magic. That's when it becomes a spell. Hello. Hi. So if you have any questions, go ahead. What are these? What is that? Sorry, I'm looking at these little weird things. If you have any questions, go ahead and place them down here. Ask me whatever you want, and I do have questions over here that I'm going to answer as well. These were just taken from Instagram from a while ago. A lot of them are personal, and a lot of them are just like silly. Hello, Inez. Hello. What is your emoji or your picture? Is it donuts? Oh my gosh, it's so small. I can barely see what it is. Oh my goodness, my favorite books I've read recently. Okay, my friend. Um, oh my gosh, the full moon. I have a really cool class on the full moon. I wish that everybody lived closer because I have a class in Wilmington on the full moon. But my favorite books that I've read lately. Okay, so this may be a surprise to some of you, but I love a good saucy, steamy romance novel, especially if it's fantasy. So I read the was it the dragon something's mate. I forget what it's called. I have to find it's the dragon something, the dragon's mates or something like that. It's a series on Audible, and it is hilarious. Can you please say hi Jade to shout hi Jade to me and shout me out, please? I see you. So yeah, the dragon. I forget what the heck the name is, and if I look it up, if I try to look at it, you will guys will disappear, and I don't want you to disappear. But it's a free Audible series, and it has to do with a dragon shifter. Okay, the dragon shifter's mates is what it's called. The dragon shifter's mates, and it's so saucy. It's a super saucy sauce read. Okay, you guys. All right, just so you know, your mama Mint is a sauce reader. I have not read the Black Jewels trilogy, but give it to me. I will. I love dragons. Yeah. I know it's Year of the Dragon. I know, and they have been coming up a little bit before that, so I'm super excited. Yeah. Oh, I'm a Year of the Dog. If you couldn't tell, I'm such a golden retriever. I really am. I've been great. I've been so good. I've been so wonderful. Thank you so much. Someone else asked a question. I saw it, and now I have to go back and see what it was. La 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 la. How do you stay true to your truth in the society? Okay, so Wonder Woman is. Oh, I really want to read that. Yes, that's actually that's in my to read section because I love Wonder Woman. So, staying true to your truth, staying true to yourself, and staying true to your goals. It can be really difficult in these days, and it can be difficult all the time. People always say like in this day and age, or this is happening now, or things are so different than they used to be, and it's true that things are very often incredibly different. But I think that our issues, our values, and our desires are still the same as humans. We want love, we want shelter, we want stability, we want to be seen, we want to be creative, we want to be prosperous. We all want the same thing. We're dealing with the same issues that everyone has always dealt with: war, oppression, racism, sexism. We're dealing with all of the same issues. We keep repeating them over and over again. So we're always going to be talking about the same things, unfortunately. But staying true to yourself, I think, is about knowing what it is that you want out of life, knowing what it is that makes you feel like you're living in a satisfying way, where you're not like going home and being like, man, I wish I had done this, that, or the other thing, when you're not feeling like you're regretting not having done or said something. I feel like that's super duper important to be aware of what it is that you want living this life. Um, and then being true to achieving that goal. You know, I always think about there's like a Harry Potter question, which is like I always talk about it on Instagram how frustrated I am when I want to talk about Harry Potter things because J.K. Rowling really broke my heart by being a super duper jerky McJerk. But there's a question in the Patronus, I think, quiz. It's like, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want people to think of your stories and laugh, or do you want them to be sad and like really miss you, or do you want them to want to hear of your adventures, or do you want to think of how great you were? I think about that all the time. What do I want people to say about me when I'm gone? Do I want people to say that I was hilarious, or that I was sweet and kind, or that I was generous, or that I changed their life by being there for them? Like, what is it that you want people to say about you when you're gone? Do you want them to like look at all the work that you've done? Do you want them to be inspired, to be like you, to be similar to you? Think about what you want your story to be, and think about if that's what it's starting to be written as, Are you living the way you want to be? Are you living the way that you see yourself in your head, And if not, then make that change. Make the changes that you need to make in your life. And don't allow yourself to regret not having done something or said something or tried something. That's the biggest thing. If you don't do it, are you gonna regret it? Are you gonna be mad at yourself later? Yes, then do it. That's being true to yourself. It's being like, yeah, I want to do that, so I'm going to because I know I want to. That's being true to yourself. Someone's like, oh man, there's like one last piece of chocolate cake. Does anybody want it? And you want it. Are you just gonna sit there and be like, oh, if I say I want it, are people gonna be like, nah? If you want that piece of chocolate cake, go ahead and get it, honey. Be the one that gets it. Someone else is gonna be doing the same thing. Oh, should I get it? You know what? I do want that piece of chocolate cake. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And if people are like, oh man, I should have got it. Yes, you should have, but you didn't. I went for it. I got it. Next time you get it, baby. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Go for the things that you want, or share that chocolate cake. Cut it up. We can all have a little piece of chocolate cake. Did you want some too? Bam, bam. We can all have a piece of chocolate cake. That's also, be the person that takes the chocolate cake and cuts it up and shares it. Because otherwise everyone's going to be looking at it trying to figure out who's going to grab it. So I'll grab it first and go, there. Now we all have some chocolate cake. Be the one that makes the decision. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. The OK Witch. I have not. Please, everyone send me their book recommendations. I read like a. I was gonna say I read like a fish. I read like a fish. I read tons of books. I love reading them. Say something about me. Is that what you said, Kevin Joseph? Kevin Joseph, asparagus and celery. That's something about you. Silver car. Yay, I'm so happy to see you. Winter is rough, my friend. Winter is rough, rough, rough. What kind of pet reptiles do I have? So right now we just have a bearded dragon named Yams LaCroix. That's her name. She's very beautiful. She's a lovely orange color. Sweet, sweet, sweet lady. Oops. How do you deal with burnout in a way you don't retreat from your craft? Okay, so I have never had burnout from magic. From magic. I have had burnout from life, but burnout from magic I've never had. I think it's just because my practice is it's very vast. There are so many angles to it, and also because I put every bit of my life is permeated by magic. Every bit of my life. So there isn't anything that I am doing that doesn't involve me uh, putting intention into it. I look so creepy from this angle. Should I move it up? Like that? I just realized how low you guys are, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like a monster. Like if no one told me I was looking like a monster. Is that better? Okay. Um. Yeah. So I think that when you feel like you are suffering from burnout, I think it may be because you are maybe droning. Is that the word? Droning. Yeah, maybe you're droning on. Droning? But maybe you're studying something that you're kind of getting burnt out on. So maybe switch your subject, maybe switch your angle, switch the book that you're studying from, or just switch the mode that you're studying in. For example, say you are so my particular practice centers mostly around trees. So, say I'm studying different types of trees and what they need to grow and live and thrive in whatever area they're in. And I'm on my like 50th tree and I'm over it. Like I'm over it. I'm done reading about what freaking soil the tree needs to be in. So I'm instead going to switch my mode. So I'll maybe switch to the ohm and maybe I'll start studying. Sorry, something fell and it just looked like it exploded. But the way it fell, it looked like it just exploded into a million pieces. It freaked me out. Where did it go? It fell and then it just like exploded. It scared me. Anyway, so I was so dramatic for no reason. Um, so yeah, maybe I'll switch to learning runes instead, or maybe I'll switch to like druidry or some other form of tree learning, so that I'm not just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Do what you want to do. Oh my gosh, in living color. I haven't seen living color in ages. Hi, Ashanti, my dear. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you're just not working with the right kind of craft either. I think for me, I was studying like hoodoo for so long when I was a child, and I was super burnt out on it. So when I found out about Wicca, I was like super into it. I was like, "What is this?" Ugh. Because hoodoo was like my foundation. It was like my complete foundation. It was just like, you know, body parts and herbs and medicine, and that was it. And at first I was so interested in it, but by age like 14, I was just like, okay. And I was even like, as you learn about different forms of magic, and when you recognize the different like influences on certain areas, you start to feel like, I don't know if I'm this is like something I'm into anymore, because I didn't really like the Christian influence in hoodoo. For me, like I was just like, this is so, I don't know how I feel about that. I wasn't into it. Um, and I was a teenager, so I was just like, bleh, I'm a rebel. I was such a little teenager. I was a 90s teenager. So if anybody knows, I was a 90s alternative black kid, so I was like I thought I knew everything, my hair was all like cool and weird, and I had skipped a grade, so I was younger than everybody, which sucked. And so I was smaller than everybody, so I had to like defend myself all the time. And I was into witchcraft, I was super into witchcraft, and I switched schools so much because I moved so much, so I was always the new kid. So I was just like a little piece of shit teenager, I was just such a little piece of crap. But it's very, very true that if you feel like you're studying something for so long, and you feel like you're just, oh man, I'm not into this anymore, take a break from it. Check something else out. Check out another mode of spirituality, or another mode of nature based practice, or just study maybe deities or something else. Just find a different area to study and get excited about, and then maybe go back to it later, or maybe you'll even find that something else means more to you, that you find something else is like more interesting. You're like, oh yeah, yeah, you know? Aw, thank you, my friend. Yeah, yeah, no, I'm a huge I'm a huge nostalgia person. I'm a huge Power Rangers. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't speak Spanish. Why are you mad at me? Oh, muy mal. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm here, the dog. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, yeah. Send me the book recommendations. I love cicadas. Oh my gosh. I love them just being like, oh my gosh, current favorite house plant. I'm always going for the pothos because they're just like I love and I also love snake plants because they are like they just they just grow. Um, you should you're really trying to study. Oh, review. Is this a scary message? Held for review. Are you saying weird things to me in another language? You weirdo. Oh, another moderator just handled it. Who is it? Who is my moderator? Angel, that's so sweet. You know what's funny? I am unoffendable. So I hope everyone knows that. I hope that anyone that's trying to like be mean to me like understands that I'm unoffendable. I'm like ridiculously self-confident. I'm so sorry. I couldn't care less about anything that someone tries to say is mean about me because um, I know it's not true. I know it's not true. Oh, great. Yeah. Yes, be Delulu, my friend. I love the Delulu. Huh? Oh, awesome. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I name my plants too, and I a bunch of my plants are, I don't know, they're I have a Draco. I have a bunch of them are Harry Potter names. I have a Snape. Draco and Snape are both snake plants. Thank you. Oh yeah. Okay, so I do have a bunch of fairy stories actually. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Mickey. I love seeing you. Thank you so much. Oh, I love that. I love when plants like move when you touch. Oh, I love Suspiria. Yeah, really good. It does. Being the Lulu does keep one sane. How long did it take for me to find my specific craft? My whole life. My entire life. you know, because of the fact that I'm always talking about um, going ahead and researching just every aspect of spirituality that you're interested in. That's a lifelong study. That's a lifelong task. You can't really um, know how you feel until you discover everything. And I know that that's a neurodivergent thing that I'm saying. You know what I mean? I know that because spirituality is one of my lifelong hyperfixations. For me, it is really easy for me to continue to study it because it's just something that I think about constantly. So it's all I'm like googling this and like what's this mean? Oh, what is that? Is this something new? Blah, 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 blah. Let me look it up. But I think the thing that it took me the longest to discover is what I wanted to dedicate myself to, what kind of magic I wanted to do, what kind of effect I wanted to have on the world with my personal magic. And what I wanted ultimately was to express love for the world and to show people how to express themselves and release the blockages on their own personal magic. Because so many people have blockages on their own personal magic that have been put there by doubts and fear, and you can't be confident enough to just like sit down and write a spell on your own. Everyone should be able to do that. Anyone should be able to be like, oh man, I've got something really cool coming up and I want to make sure it goes really well. I want to write a spell for protection around this certain thing, and you should be able to just sit down with your BOS, pull out some ingredients, blah blah blah, and be like, yep, feel confident enough to know it's gonna work, know exactly what you want based on what energies work with you. Do it and create it and be confident in yourself. And then the more you do it, the less you need to do it. The more you'll be able to just create this magic by saying, oh, I'm going to, do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And because so many of your workings have worked before, you know it's going to work this time because you're stuck, because it always works, because you can't lose, because you just don't fail. And that I want that for everyone. I want everyone to be so freaking confident that they just don't even need anything anymore, but just their own bam bam. My witch laugh. Yeah. Yes, Chaotic the Caffeinated Ghost. You are the real homie, I'm telling you. We really do need to normalize taking your time with witchcraft. People just want to rush into everything all the time. And I get it because it's exciting. It's very exciting. Magic is exciting. But when you're doing a working that is big, you want your life to be changed by this working, you got to put so much effort into it. And if you don't feel like it, and if you don't feel like doing the research or the work or taking the time to build up a potion for the amount of time it takes and stuff like that, if you don't want to, or you can't stop your life to do that, or you won't build you know a little section around your life to take care of this ritual, then you're not ready to do it. You're not ready to do it, because if it's supposed to be something that's so important to you, you're gonna make the time and space and effort to make it work. You're just going to. You know what I mean? It's like a marriage, a big spell. It's a marriage. If you want this for the rest of your life and you want it to be incredible for the rest of your life, you've got to put effort into it, baby. You can't just be like, here we go, checks mix, I guess I'll blah blah blah. I hope this works. No. Put that effort in. When you are getting to know somebody you like, you're like, oh, hello. Oh, she's really cute, and I really want to get to know her better. So I want to spend more time with her. Are you just gonna like follow her around and stare at her breathing? No, right? You're gonna ask her about herself. You're gonna spend some time getting to know her. You're gonna go out on a date with her. You're gonna put effort in many different ways to get her to want to be with you. Spell work is the exact same way. You want the universe to give you stuff, you're just going to be like, can I have it? No. The universe wants to be wined and dined. She wants you to take her on a date. She wants you to put the effort in. Am I right? Ladies and men and my non binary friends, no limits. I'm the real homie. It's okay, hey, my friend. I don't ever post on TikTok because it's so flooded with people, and so I just let people do what they're doing. I always feel like it's a different place, but I also like hanging out on TikTok and just like watching people, and I like making silly like comedic content on TikTok. And sometimes I do want to make TikToks for newer witches who feel like intimidated by people who are mean to them, because that breaks my heart. Bye, Kay. I'm sure you're already gone, but yeah. Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. That's cool. I would love to hear about your first spell. Yeah. I love dude, I'm such a maniac. I am such a maniac when it comes to comedy, and I have all kinds of silly Twilight comedy. And I've just been making so silly. It's so 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 silly. And then I also have this series that I've been writing it out instead of filming any of it. But like what some of my favorite characters, like some of my favorite female like leading role characters, like what kind of wishes they would be. I love doing that. And then I do have like some other ones, like what kind of fairies people would be too. It's super fun. Oh no, kid, no, no, no. Oh no, bye. Hope it's nothing. Thanks. Don't get me wrong, friends. I'm Team Alice. Okay, if they had Team Alice, I would be all about a Team Alice cup. I think I'm gonna. I should design one. Am I right? Because oh my goodness, Alice and Bella would make such a great couple. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Wonderful. Were there any questions in it? Oh, I did read Fairies of the Fault Lines. I did. I love that. Really good. There's another one that I read that I've loved. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Oh man. Oh man, it was such a cool, weird fairy story. It was very similar. It was like fairies and they were like in these mines or something. Oh, it was so cool. So realistic. Like it was like it was put off as a novel, but I'm like, this is someone's experience. And they just don't want anyone to know. Which is fine. You know what I mean? I get it. As soon as you're like, I see fairies, I saw fairies, you're like, oh, you're insane. Thanks. Have a great day. You know? They're like, you're done. I'm like, okay, well, that's okay. I get it. I get it. Okay, I'm gonna read some of the questions that people have given me from Instagram here. Okay, so people always ask me the question. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a meditation tonight because it's not quiet enough in my home. We're going to set it up so that I can do them upstairs from now on because my home is noisy with dogs, and so I'm trying to either film a meditation for Monday nights to put on so that you guys can do that, or go live upstairs in the bedroom and try to make like a sound booth kind of situation. Yeah, I do. I have some really great fairy stories. Man, I've been having so many interesting little like speed throughs. And it's something that's really interesting that's happening is, and this happens all the time, is when I start having more experiences with Fae as the seasons change, the people that I'm talking to have the same experiences with the same type of Fae. They just start happening, and I never tell them ahead of time. They always come to me and go, "Hey, this is so weird, but I'm having this experience." I'm like, with this guy, with the so and so. No, yeah, I know. Or like with the lady with the hair. I know. No, I know. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's such an interesting kind of a world because it's always present and there's always so much that you can glean from it. You know, you can always just see these like little bits of light. I just had a really interesting experience outside earlier. I took the dogs out to go have their little pees and poos, and I was looking up at the sky and I was just like going through and talking to, spirits, and I was talking to Zeus. I always just like go through the Greek gods because they've always been very vocal with for me. They've always been very vocal. Um, and there were all these flashes of light in the sky, and I was just like, this is very interesting, This is a very interesting experience. I'm just like looking around, and there are all of these little like white streaks across the snow, and I'm just like looking at them and being like, this is so nice. I never have like a really big reaction because I'm always too afraid to pay too much attention. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is like for nights when it's my house is just too loud to have a meditation live is I'll post a live video. Oh, I think I have like more experiences with gnomes than anything else. I'm pretty sure. I'm such a gnome wife. I call myself gnome wife all the time. I'm such a gnome wife. I love them. They've always been my favorites. I've always had a really close connection with them. because they've always been very nurturing to me, very like caring and nurturing and trustworthy, very very trustworthy. I am not religious, no. They've always been just like protective in such a cute way, such a fierce way. I just really enjoy them. And there was this really sweet lady at one of the stores I was going to, and she was asking me because we were looking at the gnomes. She was asking me, she's like, "Why don't they have eyes?" I don't like that. I don't like that gnomes don't have eyes. And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, you know how they have their hats over their eyes." Because why is that? And I'm like, "Well, there are some some depictions of gnomes with the hats over their eyes. The reason why they do that is because gnomes' eyes are like white. They're like super super bright, so much that they almost glow. That's how they see underground. So when people see their eyes, they like freak out and like they're like ah, like because it's terrifying looking. They're looking like a little White Walker with a beard. No one wants to see that. It's scary. So they cover them up as to not scare anybody because they're not they're not frightening and they don't want to scare anyone. They just their eyes glow. Yeah. No, I'm not religious. No, I love religious people. I find them very interesting. I'm interested in religion. I love studying religion. I find it fascinating. I love gnomes. Yeah, we love them so much. Oh yeah, yeah. Ooh, book. Oh come on. Oh come on. I've got loads of book recommendations for someone trying to learn more about the fairy folk. So, um, the Fairy Faith in Celtic Countries is one that I very much recommend. It's a really good one. Um, there's also there are a lot of books that have fairies from around the world. Um, it's really difficult to find stories sometimes about fairies from around the world because they don't have the same name around the world. People often get it mistaken. Like when I say that there are fairies from every culture around the entire world, I don't mean that they are called fairies, but they are the same creatures within the same realm. And so you have to sometimes look up what they're called in that country to find the stories, but they're so so fascinating. One of my favorite things to do is to find old fairy tales and to read old fairy tales and folklore from other countries, and you will always get your fairy folklore from those. Really? Can I see it? Oh my gosh, please, the little woodland fairy, please DM me a picture of your gnome, please, so I can see it. I would love to crochet a gnome. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Oh yeah, I have a video about gnomes on my channel. I'm obsessed with gnomes. I love their lore is so great. The origin of the gnome is so fascinating because it's completely something that people didn't understand. It was a fertility god that someone visiting a royal saw, and he was like, "What is that?" That was this cool thing. So to impress people back home, he got one and was like, "Look, I found this incredibly cool thing I found in another country." And he had them made, and they looked like gnomes. That's what they ended up looking like. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Yes. Huh? Another way for what? Okay, I don't know. I want to make sure everything was okay. Wait. Yes, please. Yes, I do have some. I saw someone say asking about senior dog care tips. Oh, sweet baby. So joint care is super, super important. I would definitely get some joint supplements, um, because it's probably difficult for her to do all of the walking and going up and down stairs or jumping or anything like that. So joint care is really important. Making sure that you take care of the teeth if they still have teeth left. Take care of the teeth that they have left. Um, and just have so much fun with your baby. Just have so much fun with them. Oh, yeah. I miss Pippin so much. He was so funny. He was such a funny guy. He was such a cute little guy. He's so soft. And his little feet that used to stick out to the side like that. He was such a sweet. Frodo, come in here and snuggle me. I'm sad. Frodo, he loves Yule so much. He will want to hang out with Yule when he's not with me. I have the door closed anyway. But yeah, I think joint care is like something I think is so important. Let's see. Contact my fairies. I do remember a fairy ring that was in our yard. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you goodness. Oh my goodness, you goodness. Oh my goodness, you guys. I can't wait to do some hiking in the summer and spring. I'm really, really in for it. I'll take you guys with me. I'm going to have so many retreats this year. Oh, I'm terrible. I've definitely in certain spaces I'll get quite daring with the fairy rings. Hello. Oh, I have. Oh my goodness. Oh, DM me chaotic the caffeinated ghost, and I will tell you which ones I have on Instagram. Because I got a pair for Christmas, and they're really great. They're wonderful. I am going to Fete de Fe this year. Yes, I am going to Fete de Fe this year. It's going to be so amazing. If you guys haven't been like going to Fete de Fe or you don't know about it, follow it on Instagram so that you can get um updates for when it is, because the tickets are already sold out, but they are giving away tickets every once in a while. They'll give away some tickets, and the events, they're going to be I think twice a year now. So follow the page so that you can go. It's such a beautiful time. I cried so much last year because it was so much fun and people were so happy, and I was just like hugging everyone, and oh man, I love it. I get so romantic at balls. And this year I think I'm going to dress as a prince because I really want to. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I do have a lot of footage that where, oh my goodness, because I did a retreat. Hey, ghost, no. I did a retreat in Virginia last year, and I do consider Baba Yaga to be Fae. Um, I went to Virginia last year on a retreat with some friends, and some people that I didn't know, some new people. It was wonderful, and wow, the forest there was just like so, it was teeming with fae, and it was winter, so there were a lot of winter fae, which are very, very frightening looking, but beautiful and so cool. And I was pixie led, lost, and lost. I have footage, and I don't remember if I showed you guys, but I will share it because it was scary. I was scared. I called my husband as if he could have helped me because I was like hundreds of miles away in Virginia, but I was just like so freaked out. Yes, yes. I want people to be able to go to Fete to Fe. It's so wonderful. It's just so, so much fun. I love it so much. It's such a wonderful time. It is just like people are dressed to the nines, looking absolutely stunning. Oh man, I think I will dress as a king. I think I will. How did I find out? I just always knew. You just always know. You just I was just the most different person from anybody else. Welcome to Mint Buds! Yay! Thank you. Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna do a dance for you. Cha 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 cha. Yeah, I'm gonna be a king for this Fete de Fe. I just decided like right now. I was like, oh, what ball gown am I gonna wear? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna wear a ball. You guys, I am going to be the king tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little bit of so the Fête du Fae is a wonderful ball that is held in Maryland every year. The first year was last year, and it was a wonderful, wonderful ball. It was so much fun. There are people from all over, oh my goodness, all over the place, dressed as fairies, all different fairies from different courts. There were dark fae, there were like queens and kings, and it was so great. It was so fantastic. Yay! It was so, so cool. And so they decided to have another one this year, and the tickets sold out the first day. But they're also doing giveaways for tickets as well. So it's so much fun. It is such an incredible, incredible time. Like I said, last year I cried so much because I'm just a big old crier, and everyone was just so beautiful and it looked so happy. Oh, there were couples there dressed as like beautiful kings and queens, and they were doing these dance moves, and it was just, oh, it was amazing. I loved it. I thought it was just the most amazing thing. Oh, thank you. It was wonderful. It was so wonderful. I want to answer a few more questions before I go. Yeah, I think that it's really easy. Thank you so much. It's really easy to feel insecure about the things that you see and the things that you feel, because you know magic, spell work, and like clairvoyance, clairaudience, all of these mystical and otherworldly signs and abilities and stuff like that, they all are a hairpin away from mental illness. And so it's really scary to tell people about what you feel and what you see, or to tell people about experiences that you've had, because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to be judged, and you don't want to find out that something's going on in your brain that's not supposed to be going on. You know what I mean? That's why it's really important to assess your mental health and your state, to make sure you're not like going through something that that's unhealthy for you. But also having a healthy sense of wonder is also, it's really important. It's essential to my life. It's essential to my life to have a really healthy sense of childlike wonder and curiosity, and to be able to see things that aren't there. I have worked with Artemis since I was 11. I pledged to Artemis when I was 11 years old. I was like, I'm going to be a virgin huntress forever. And so I remember when I first was in my first relationship, I was 21, and I went through like such a huge um, like breakdown, because I was afraid, because I had pledged to be a virgin forever, and I was just like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna be struck down? That's how serious I was. But I went to a high priestess about it, and she completely alleviated my fears, and so everything changed. Oh, thank you for another member. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for joining the mint buds. I have to make t-shirts that say mint buds. They're so cute. Thank you so much. Yes, I know. Yay, thank you so much. Yay. What, like a moisturizer? I use philosophy. My grandma was like a huge philosophy person, so I use philosophy. Um, Everything, like lotion, body scrubs, everything. Philosophy, everything. And my favorite is a scent that I don't have, and it's like the fresh cream. I like to smell like food. I like to smell like delicious desserts. My favorite. So, mental health issues are something that are really, really important to talk about, and I think it's super important to talk about, because I do a lot to maintain and build up my mental health, it's super, super duper important because I was diagnosed with depression when I was 16. And it is something that I live with. It's like a part of my life that kind of like comes over me and sits on my head like a cloud, and I have to fight my way out of it. Um, it's involuntary, it comes out of nowhere. It it is triggered by events that are difficult for me to deal with emotionally. I am autistic, so when I have something that happens in my life that is really difficult for me to deal with, I usually sink into depression, and it's really hard for me to get out. The biggest way to deal with it is by talking to other people and letting them know where I am, letting them know what's going on with me, letting them know what I need, getting with my therapist and letting them know what state I'm in, letting them know where I am, like you said, writing down what's going on with me. And I have a checklist of things that I make sure that I'm doing to make sure that it's not one of those things. Number one, make sure I've eaten, make sure I'm hydrated, I've had some water, make sure I've slept, make sure I've showered, make sure my outfit looks good, my hair looks good, make sure I feel good about myself, make sure I don't have any work that I haven't left over that's making me feel bad about, not getting that done, cleaning up my space, making sure I took my medicine, making sure I've socialized, hung out with my friends. I'm a huge extrovert. If I don't hang out with humans, I start dying. I start shriveling. So I have to hang out with people. I have to make sure that I've been meditating. Have I gotten off my routines? Am I not doing yoga? Am I not eating, raw foods like fresh fruits and vegetables? I have to, or I just start going crazy. Have I not gone outside to be in the forest for that long? I have a long I have a long chest list, a long checklist of like 20 things that I check to make sure I've done all of these things. And if I go down that checklist and I've said yes to all those things and I'm still feeling like crap, then I just tell everybody, okay, this is happening right now. I just need to be wrapped up in a blanket and put on some nice, like, gentle cartoons, some SpongeBob, some Totally Spies, something. And I need to make sure I'm eating food. I just maybe need to sleep for a little bit. Maybe need to cry for a little bit, and get it out of my system. But 9 times out of 10, if I go down that checklist and make sure that I'm doing all the things on that checklist, I can pull myself out of it before I get too deep. But you have to try to find people that can support you when you get into the situation. You need people to understand that you get into any kind of like mental states that feel bad. Let them know so that you can be supported. It's really important. Okay, I'm gonna do one more question because I am sleepy. Yes, yes. Yeah, I use all philosophy products. Oops, what did I do? I hope I didn't do something by mistake. I have seen the Native Girl Scout cookies. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to because I love Native. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah. I do. I have to smell like so good. I'm like, spray me with everything. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. You will do so much better. I've had a lot of things in my life that have tried holding me back. PTSD was one of them. I worked so hard to knock it in the butt. One of the best things that helps me with PTSD is learning how to defend myself, learning how to keep myself safe. That really helped me. Sometimes, talking about it helps, and making sure that you get all your feelings out, that helps. Sometimes it helps to just like get in the boxing ring. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you know that you can take care of yourself. That gives you so much confidence when it comes to certain things like that. For me, it definitely helped me. Yeah. Yeah, it's important for me. Meditation has been a part of my life since I was a child. It's something that I do all of the time because it is essential. It is essential for me. Yeah. I love journaling as well. I want to do some live journaling sessions as well. I love journaling. I love like doing journal with me, like BOS journal with me's too, where we write in our book of shadows together and like on a subject. I love it. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. I'm more than willing to share those kinds of things because I want people to know that they aren't alone and that it will get better. It will get better. You are not alone, my sweet family. You're not ever alone. Yes, I'm going to bed. Okay. Mwah! Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for this live. It was so wonderful to talk to you all. Look out for the video next Friday. Not next Friday. This Friday. This Friday and a vlog on Saturday. And I will see you guys so soon. Have a good night and make sure you're drinking water, taking your medication, brush your teeth first, do some stretching. Okay, bye.